An ordinary man, a man who goes to work every morning and returns home at night. A man everyone sees but no one really understands. Rex Heuermann, 59 years old, married, father of 2. But here was this man. Could he be a murderer? It all started with a pizza box. That may be hard to believe. A pizza box was the only clue we had to trace the bodies of 4 women who had been missing for years. And suddenly everything changed. All that mediocrity was not enough to hide this terrible truth. Gilgo Beach, the bodies of 4 women, so close together, so similar. But no one was so careful to find out their true identities. Until a man threw a pizza box. At that moment, all fears came true. He was an architect, a father, but nobody knew who he really was. He was a man that everyone knew but no one recognized. That's why we're starting to tell you how a pizza box can so profoundly change an ordinary life. As you follow us, you too will discover this dark truth. Chapter 1. An ordinary architect, an extraordinary nightmare. Year 2023, Long Island, New York, USA. Rex Heuermann. On the outside, he is a typical suburbanite. 59 years old, father of 2, working for a successful architectural firm in Manhattan. He goes to work every morning and returns home every evening, seemingly an ordinary man, until July 2023. The New York Police Department had reached a critical threshold in its years-long investigation into the bodies of 4 women found on Long Island's South Shore in 2010. The suspect, Rex Heuermann. The bodies of these 4 women, dubbed the Gilgo Beach 4, Amber Lynn Costello, Megan Waterman, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, and Melissa Barthélemy, were found in close proximity to each other on the side of a Long Island beach road almost 13 years ago. The bodies were wrapped in similar wrappings, and phone records and digital traces were linked. After years of failing to solve these cases, police reopened them in 2022, this time using new technologies and forensic analysis tools. And not fingerprints, but a pizza box changed the whole story. A DNA sample from a slice of pizza Heuermann had thrown away matched a strand of hair found in a sack containing one of the victims. Thus began the unmasking of an ordinary architect. And in the summer of 2023, one of the darkest cases in Long Island history was officially opened. The truth behind the missing girls. Year 2010 to 2022, Long Island, New York. The Gilgo Beach area was known for its summer cottages and quiet. But in December 2010, the search for a missing woman turned into a discovery that will go down in human history. While searching for missing sex worker Shannon Gilbert, the police found something else. Women's bodies lined up in a row. 1, 2, 3, and then the bodies of 4 young women were found in close proximity to each other, in sacks and left in similar ways. Each victim was of similar age, with similar physical characteristics. They were all sex workers, and they had all communicated in a strange way over the phone. The cell phone of one of the victims, Melissa Barthélemy, made repeated calls to her family after she disappeared. The male voice on the phone deliberately spread fear and insulted her family. But the signals always came from the heart of Manhattan, right where Rex Heuermann worked. After 2010, the investigation slowed down. The case was almost forgotten. But the relatives of the victims did not give up. Especially the families of the victims continued to make their voices heard on social media, television, and podcasts. This public pressure led the authorities to reopen the case in 2022. This time it was different. There was new DNA technology, digital analysis tools, and a more determined team. And that team set its sights on a long-forgotten name, Rex Heuermann, because some shadows, when illuminated, leave nothing behind. Section 3. Unlocking the Pizza Box. Year 2022 to 2023, Manhattan, Long Island, USA. The most critical phase of the investigation came in 2022. The police used technological means to the fullest as they revisited the Gilgo Beach case. The list of suspects was narrowed down. Digital traces, phone signals, and internet search histories were analyzed one by one. The team analyzed surveillance cameras where one of the victims was last seen. It also compared E-ZPass and surveillance data from vehicles traveling between Long Island and Manhattan on the dates of the incidents. All the routes pointed to one name, Rex Heuermann, but there was only one thing missing: physical evidence. In January 2023, a step was taken. Heuermann threw a pizza box in the trash while eating lunch in Manhattan. The NYPD bagged this box as evidence. A DNA sample taken from the pizza crust left in the box matched a hair found on the body of Amber Lynn Costello in 2010. It was the first concrete match in years of investigation. The police were now in a position to match Heuermann to both technical and physical evidence. There was no longer any need to wait. In the early morning hours of July 2023, in a joint FBI and NYPD operation, Rex Heuermann was taken into custody. The footage of the arrest became the talk of not only Long Island, but the whole country. The architect had been unmasked. Not only bodies were left behind, but dozens of secrets buried beneath a suburb. Chapter 4, The Double Life of an Architect. Year July 2023, Massapequa Park, Manhattan, USA. The arrest of Rex Heuermann was not just the arrest of one man, it was the shattering of the peace of a family, a neighborhood, a city. Police raided Heuermann's home on Long Island. The basement of the house was full of lock boxes, digital devices, old cell phones, and belongings of unidentified women. Toys on one side, handcuffs, plastic ropes, old SIM cards on the other. Emerging from an ordinary suburban house, detached, surrounded by lawns, this dark collection laid bare Rex's double life. His wife and 2 children were in shock. They all found it hard to believe that he was involved in such crimes, but the digital data and physical evidence found by the FBI showed that the truth was much darker. The police also presented Heuermann's internet searches to the court. He searched for things like, how is the body transported? How long does it take for victim DNA to disappear? What evidence the police have in the Gilgo Beach investigation? And the creepiest, the best hiding places, Long Island woodlands. Heuermann was silent, no regrets, no explanations, just cold silence, just as he had done for 13 years. Chapter 5, Secrets Not Yet Excavated. Year 2023 to 2024, USA. With the arrest of Rex Heuermann, the case is not closed. On the contrary, it has deepened. Authorities said he may have been responsible for the murders of not only the Gilgo Beach 4, but at least 3 other women. Some sources even put the total number of victims at over 10. New excavations have begun. Wooded areas on Long Island, abandoned hotels associated with previous cases, GPS signals and past travel records are under scrutiny. It turned out that Heuermann was particularly frequent in New Jersey, Atlantic City, and some of the surrounding areas. Police began to re-examine unsolved murders of women from previous years. DNA traces at the crime scenes, phone signals, surveillance cameras, all were being rescanned. Side phones Heuermann had used in the past were also found. With them, he was able to reach the victims. When the trial began, public opinion was divided across the country. While some argued that he was still innocent, for the majority he was now the Long Island killer. But the real question was this: was Rex Heuermann really alone? According to some theories, these murders were organized. Some victims were killed in different ways. So either Heuermann had changed his method over the years, or he was working with someone else. As the possibilities grew, the answers were still incomplete. But one thing was certain: an architect doesn't just build buildings. In the midst of the silence, he had also built the foundation of fear.